Today's Love Your Story episode is a really special one for me because I get to sit down with one of my past clients, Ivona, and have her share her fertility journey from the very beginning. Ivona is genuinely one of the sweetest, most gracious people I've ever met, but she is also incredibly strong and determined. Her journey was not an easy one. There was endometriosis, IUIs, IVF cycles, disappointing embryo numbers, a cycle where they lost every single embryo, different doctors, different clinics, changing recommendations, and so many moments of having to figure out what the next step was. Ivona and I definitely shared our fair share of tears over Zoom throughout the journey. But eventually, we finally got to have the tears we've been waiting for, tears of joy. Today, I really want you to hear everything that happened before that moment because I think there is so much in Ivona's story that other women going through infertility are going to really relate to. Welcome to the Fertility Fight Club podcast. Today, I have a very special guest, Ivona. She has been a past client for, since I think 2022.
Yes.
And she has an amazing story. We had a lot of similarities, failed cycles, Endo sisters together, canceled cycles, crazy stories, misdiagnoses, crazy doctors, the whole thing. So I'm excited to share your journey with you. I share bits of it with clients now when they're losing hope and don't know what to do, Ivona, because you are always an inspiration. And how you ended up getting your bundle of joy was truly so inspiring. And we've shared so much because we've been in tears on a lot of Zoom calls together.
Yes.
And we definitely laughed. And Ivona, you were one of the girls that you did all the things. You followed my menu plan, as crazy as it was. You took all the supplements that I was suggesting. You did all the stress busters. You joined the challenges. You supported the other girls so well. You always cheered everybody on. Even when you were brokenhearted yourself, you never let that show. And you really tried to help everybody else in the Fight Club. So welcome. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Crystal. Yeah, I did try my best to support other girls. I know how hard it is.
It does.
And I just want to say it's wild that I'm here because not too long ago, I was listening to these kind of podcasts, every night when I was washing the dishes, cleaning the kitchen, I had a podcast like this on and the girl would share a story and I had such little hope because my situation was really dire. We had a doctor say you have less than 2% chance of naturally conceiving. So I had very, very little hope. But after hearing these stories, when I'm listening to these podcasts, I got so much hope and so inspired. So I'm happy that I actually now have a chance to give back and
to share.
It's just really wild to be on the other side of things, really. So thank you for this opportunity.
No, I'm so excited because you've been through so much. Hi, I'm so happy you're here listening to my show, The Fertility Fight Club. I really need your help with something super easy. It's a huge help for you to like and subscribe on your favorite platform so you never miss an episode. It's a small thing, but it helps us reach more women like you who need this community. Thank you so much for being here and supporting the work we're doing. Now, back to the show. So let's start at the very beginning. When you and Max decided to start trying, when did you realize maybe we have something going on with our fertility?
We started trying shortly after we got married in 2018. And I knew that I had endometriosis, but I was seeing a naturopathic doctor and I thought that, I really got ahead of it. I stopped eating gluten. I stopped eating refined sugar. And when I had ultrasounds done, they couldn't detect any endometriosis. So I really thought I was fine. So we were trying naturally for months. My friends were getting pregnant at the time. I had 3 or 4 best friends pregnant at the exact same time and pregnant the day they started trying. So I knew
that is the most frustrating. I had that too, and I think that's the most frustrating.
Well, it made me think maybe there's I'm happy for my friends, but maybe there's something wrong with me. We're trying, and it's not happening. And I knew I had the endometriosis, and I also knew that women still get pregnant with endometriosis.
Yeah.
But I thought, it's best I see a fertility doctor.
And that was doctor number one, correct? Because you
Yeah.
visited several clinics.
Yes, we were living in London, Ontario at the time. So it was a clinic there. We were waiting for the appointment, but the appointment was March 2020.
That is one of the problems, right? The
So-
waiting and COVID.
Yeah, so I was so excited about this appointment, but then they called me just a couple days prior to say, the appointment is canceled because of COVID.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So I thought, no problem. We'll go back to trying naturally because I'm sure we can do this naturally.
Yeah.
But it wasn't happening. And then about a month after that appointment was canceled, the doctor called and we had a phone call appointment
Okay.
because they were closed down, but the phone call was fine. And we had all the fertility testing done. And then I eventually ended up going into that fertility clinic and getting an ultrasound done. And I remember there was like a student sonographer.
Okay.
That's what they're called, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then there was the doctor, and they were and there was a big screen in front of me, this
Oh my
huge
God.
screen, so I could see exactly into my body.
Yeah.
And there was these orange spots everywhere, and I guess that represented endometriosis.
Yeah.
And the student and the doctor were like, "Oh, look, there's another one, and there's another one.
Oh, you got
Oh,
kidding.
oh, look, there's another one." And they were like excited because I think they're so used to looking at their textbook and seeing things in their textbook, but now they're seeing it live in action and they're like, "Oh, and there's another one. Check the size of that one." But every time they said there's another one, it's
You were
like my
dying.
body was like shaking. I'm just like, I know what this means. Like,
Yeah.
I know it's that I might not be able to have a baby.
Yeah.
And oh my God, there's so much endometriosis. Like, can they just take it out?
And you knew it was bad because normally we can't. It takes a really good doctor to see endo on a monitor for those people that are listening that don't know.
Yes. Yeah.
Like a lot of time you can't see from just a scan, right? So
and
you
they could
knew
see
it's
it.
bad. They
They
could
could
see
see
it.
it clearly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so we were really we
What
really
did they
didn't know
tell
what
you?
to do. They said, you can't even do IUI. Like, you have to either do a laparoscopy or do IVF. And the wait for IVF is like 18 months, like for the funded cycle.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, I'm getting older. I don't have that kind of time.
Yeah. And what was the surgery list? Because you could do lap, but there was waiting list for that too.
Yes, and
Right.
and we didn't know whether to go down that road.
Yeah.
But we were moving back to Burlington, so we thought we'll deal with that at the new fertility clinic. So that was in September of 2020.
Okay. Right in the height of the
Yes.
COVID.
Yes. And I was seeing a new naturopathic doctor who recommended this fertility clinic to me,
Okay.
saying, this doctor really thinks outside the box, understands endometriosis.
Okay.
So I was super excited. But it was one of the biggest mistakes, I made.
How well did he know endometriosis?
Yeah.
Yeah. And we're not naming any doctors' names. We're not throwing anybody under the bus. We, just from experience, we know that a lot of them don't understand it. It's getting better. It is.
Yes. Yes. But we had our meeting with him and he was saying, you're a young couple. You will get pregnant. Like, of course, this will happen for you. So we were just so happy with this doctor when we first met him. And he said, you can start with IUI. I was so happy to hear that.
Yeah.
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 So we did the first IUI in November of 2020. And I was so naive to the process. Like, I would just go to the fertility clinic. I remember the receptionist asking, like, what are you doing here today? And
You
I
didn't
had
know
to
it was
say,
called.
I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
I was so embarrassed. But you end up learning because you're there, like,
Yeah.
every other
I-
day.
Exactly what you just said. That was me. My first IUI, I had no idea what it was because they don't explain it. In our defense, they don't explain what an IUI is, right?
Yeah.
It's a step before IVF, but nobody explains it,
Yes.
right?
And then nobody really explains that you're going to be here every other day and
No.
you're going to be doing ultrasound and blood work and we're going to be looking at your follicles.
Yeah. They don't.
Yeah. So we went through the first IUI and then I had to do the pregnancy test And then they called to let me know what it was, and they said it is positive. So I said, "Oh, like that means I'm pregnant?" But the lady was like very strange. She didn't want to say I'm pregnant. She just said it is positive.
Oh my
Like,
gosh.
I guess I'm excited. I like put my camera on my phone. My husband came home and I got him and like just stand in front of the camera. I was pretending like we were filming something for my cousin. You know, like I'm pregnant. And he was like so happy. We were so happy. We said we won't say anything right now.
Yeah.
But like he can't keep a secret like that. Like he told his family right away. And at this point I'm like, what, three days I know that I'm pregnant.
Yeah. But you don't, I think also, why would there be something wrong? Right?
Exactly. You don't expect it.
You don't.
And I remember going to the store and being like so happy. I'm like, I've got a baby growing and like people don't know. It's like this amazing secret.
Yeah.
And then they said, you know, come back to the clinic for another blood test to see if the HCG is doubling.
Yeah.
And then I did that. And then they called back to say it is not doubling. Like it went from 15, which is very low. Like in hindsight.
Yeah,
I
it was
know
low.
that is very low. No wonder they weren't, you know, confident to see that to say that I'm pregnant. And then it only rose to like 17.
Ooh.
So the nurse was saying it's for sure a chemical. But I remember asking, like, are you sure? Like, can we test again? Like,
Exactly.
how can you be sure?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, it was definitely a chemical pregnancy.
And they don't really give you much guidance either. Like, I didn't know my first chemical. I had no idea what that meant. I don't know if they explained that to you, what it was, but I'm like, so am I pregnant? It's a chemical pregnancy. So that's still, to me, I thought in my head, I'm still pregnant.
Yeah.
How did they explain it to you? Because to me, I'm like, okay, is it going to work? Is there still a chance?
Yeah. I think the nurse said that it's only a pregnancy that's detected through your hormones.
Yeah.
Like no other way. They can't, it's still too early to even have an ultrasound.
Yeah.
But my fertility doctor was really happy and positive. Like he was saying, this means you can get pregnant. Look at this, like fertilization happened. Like you got pregnant. So he got me thinking positively. I'm like, I can do it. Yeah. And IUI works. Yeah. And I'm just going to do IUI again.
Exactly. I think this is why our stories are similar because our first IUIs, we both got pregnant.
Oh, right. I remember the story.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So the next IUI, he said, we're just going to do more medications. So everything's going to be fine. Yeah. And we do it and it's failed. So I'm like, oh God, this might not work. And then we try again, I think February. And that's like our third IUI. And it failed again.
Oh my gosh.
And this time, I don't know whether it was the medications or something, but I really fell into the biggest depression.
Yeah.
Like it was COVID, so I could only see my best friend outside. So in the dead of winter, we're like taking a walk and I could not stop crying. Like it was like continuous. And then I got home and I continued to cry. Like I continued to cry for 2 days. I can't explain it of why I was so sad. I think maybe because I thought there's a chance I might not be a mom.
Yeah.
Like I just might go through this life without kids.
And because you have fertility doctors that are specialists and they're not doing their magic. I think the media and celebrities portray it that like when you go to a fertility doctor, they just do their doctor stuff and you get pregnant. So when it keeps failing, it's hard. And then the realization that, will I be mom? Right?
Yeah, it was devastating.
It is.
And then like maybe 3 days later, it was like a cloud was removed from on top of my head and I was myself again. So I started to think, oh my God, these medications, like these are serious medications. Like I really sure they put me into a depression. And what am I doing to myself? Like before this, I barely took a Tylenol.
Yeah,
exactly. And now I'm like taking shots, all these medications. Like,
and you're not questioning what they are, right? You're not asking what are the medications. You just take them at the doctor's. Good picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we decided to do a fourth IUI only because we wanted to give it one more chance before doing something as serious and as costly as IVF.
Yeah.
And of course, the fourth IUI failed. So then we started to prepare for IVF.
Yeah. Were you still at that same clinic?
Still at the same clinic, yeah. I thought about switching, but I was already on the list for the funded IVF.
Right. And that holds a lot of people back right now in Ontario, right? Because they don't want to switch because they've been on the list. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you weren't alone in thinking like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they really scared me at that clinic, though, because they took a look at my AMH, which I think was like 9 point something.
Yeah.
And they took a look at my endometriosis, and they said, "Oh my God, like you need IVF like tomorrow. Like you're getting older. Your endometriosis is covering your left ovary. We can't.
My gosh.
We can't even see your left ovary, and your AMH is so low.
Oh.
At 9, they thought it was incredibly low. So me and my husband were like, "Oh my God, we need to get this IVF done." So I was on DHEA
Okay.
for like a month to improve egg quality and I think egg count.
Yeah. The DHEA recruits DHEA when you're on it at least 3 months. It starts recruiting more eggs. So all the ones that are like little dormant, they like bulk up your ovaries.
So maybe not so much quality. But
not quality, but it bulks up so they could get is maximized. Yeah.
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 I don't think I was on it long enough. Like I was only on it a month.
Yeah, a month. Usually they recommend 3 months or longer. Yeah. The good doctors will qualify. The good doctors.
Yes. So then we started the process for IVF, like going to all the appointments, taking the shots. I'm so scared to do the shots. So my husband had to like wake me up at 5 a.m. and he would do them for me.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Then, I didn't know what to expect, but then I get a call like right before egg retrieval and the nurse says, "We're going to have to cancel your IVF cycle because there's only like 3 mature eggs and the doctor doesn't think that's enough for egg retrieval."
Oh my gosh. Was this a funded cycle or you were just...
This was a paid for cycle.
Yeah. Okay.
And I went to their finance person and the finance person said, "I'm just trying to get everything sorted because I've never dealt with something like this. I've never dealt with a canceled IVF cycle."
Oh my god.
So I just felt like the worst case. I'm the worst case that they've ever had. And this is so bad.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but a lot of staff, and you've been to like four clinics.
Yeah.
And it's across the board. The staff need almost sensitivity training a lot because
for sure.
The things that they say, and I hear it daily, the things that they say to us, they shouldn't say to anybody ever. Right? Because that goes and now plays in your head. Right?
It was like she wasn't thinking before speaking. I'm like, they've never had a canceled cycle.
Ever?
Like, according to her, no. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
So then we took some more time. Like, I was on DHEA for, I think, 3 months.
Okay.
And then we attempted to do IVF again, a paid cycle. And I only had maybe 6 eggs that they were seeing. And the doctor said, that's not ideal.
Yeah.
But with you, like, this is all we can get. So let's proceed with the egg retrieval.
Oh my gosh. So expensive for 6 follicles.
Yes. Yeah. And just the medications alone were like overwhelming, like making the vials.
Oh, the Menopur mixing.
Yeah.
The worst.
All that stuff.
The worst.
There was a medication, I forget the name, but it was to stop ovulation.
Cetrotide.
Yes. Yeah. And I was making that and it was at family gathering. So I'm all stressed and it broke. So then I only had a tiny bit left. And it was like on a long holiday weekend. I couldn't call anybody. I didn't know you existed. So I was just out of options. My fertility clinic would not answer the phone.
Oh my God.
And then after the holiday weekend, I went in for the egg retrieval. I told the doctor what happened and he looked worried.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm like, I really messed something up. But anyways, they did the egg retrieval and they retrieved 4 eggs.
Okay.
Which the doctor said he was happy about.
Yeah. Okay.
And at that time, I was part of like a fertility group on Facebook.
Okay. Yeah.
I remember thinking I need to talk to people because because I can't be the only one going through this.
Yeah.
So it was
Because you do feel like you're alone, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
And it was wild to join that group because I saw all these girls that I had known in my life. And I remember them years ago talking about their fertility journey. And now I'm seeing them in this group. I'm like, wow, I am joining this very sad world, this sad group.
Yeah.
But anyways, I'm going on a tangent. This group was helpful because I told them like what happened. And they were like, you know, you have 4 embryos, like good for you. Like they're little fighters.
Yeah. And they cheer you on.
Yeah, they're
They cheer you on.
very supportive.
Yeah.
So out of those 4 eggs that they removed, 3 were fertilized and then 3 were dividing on day 3. And then I think on day 5, I only had 1 embryo left and they froze it. And I remember thinking like, that's really awful result, but at least I have 1 embryo.
That's right.
And I have 1 chance of having a baby.
Yeah.
And I remember all these stories of women just getting
with
pregnant.
All you need is
one
one.
embryo.
That's
So
right.
I wasn't too devastated. I was
That's right.
still hopeful.
Yeah. I know, it's a crazy thing how we keep the hope. Right? It's very, I don't know how we all do it. We all have like faith that it's gonna, faith and hope get us through this, I think. That's the one thing we have. Yeah.
And I was just, so persistent. I'm just like, we're going to find a way to make this happen.
Yeah. Did you get that embryo tested? Did you do PGTA on this one?
No, my fertility clinic didn't think it was worth it because it was just 1 embryo.
Okay.
And me and my husband thought the same thing.
Yeah.
It's not worth it to pay all this money for
No.
1 embryo.
Because back then, and I think it's changing now, it was a package. So it's like $2,500 for like, or $3,000 even.
For like
For
8
just,
embryos.
it didn't matter if you had 1 or 8, right?
Okay.
And now I think they're doing like just one embryo at a time. It's like,
Oh, so it's gotten better.
it's gone, some clinics.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm with you. I went to thought for 1 embryo. I went to get that. Yeah.
So we just, kept it frozen because the doctor was saying because you have endometriosis, you have to bank your embryos.
Okay.
You have to be doing multiple rounds of IVF.
Yeah.
And then doing transfers when you have a bunch of embryos.
That's true. Yeah. What was the grading on that first embryo? Do you remember?
It was a 3BB,
Okay.
which is like not the worst, but not
Not the worst.
right?
Yeah. I think it's right on that cusp. Yeah.
And I remember like asking my doctor, like, what can I do? And he was saying, you can't improve egg quality. There's nothing you can do.
Exactly.
You can't improve that. But
That's what they always tell us. Right?
Yeah. And I think he could tell like I was desperate for answers. So he said, start eating blueberries.
You kidding?
Yeah. So still to this day, I'm obsessed with blueberries. Like blueberries are a part of my breakfast every
day.
morning.
I eat them every morning because they're good for my brain. But so, if anything,
I'm so used to blueberries that they are part of my breakfast.
Oh my God, I
every
love
day
that.
now.
I can't believe that's what he told you, though.
That was probably his best advice. Was eat blueberries.
Okay. It's not horrible advice because they are strong antioxidants.
Yes. Yeah, they're very
Eat
healthy.
blueberries, ladies. Yeah.
So then we wanted to do a second IVF cycle. I think in January 2021.
Okay.
We heard that we're receiving the funded IVF cycle, so we got excited.
Yes.
And then we started that IVF in February. And because I had been on DHEA, I think this is the reason. There was just so many follicles. The sonographer was, seeing like 12 on one ovary, like 10 on the other ovary. And I was literally thinking, you don't have the right chart. Like this
I should have 5.
You're looking at the wrong chart. This isn't me.
Yeah.
But like throughout the appointments, people were saying, oh, you have 10 on this side, 12 on this side. So I was like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
And then we had the egg retrieval, and they retrieved, I think it was 12 eggs.
Okay.
It's like amazing.
Really good for your, yeah.
And then those 12, 8 were mature.
Okay.
and then 6 were fertilized.
Okay.
So
That's a good,
really plummeting.
yeah, but that's a pretty good embryo map. Yeah, okay.
And then 5 were dividing on day 3, I think. And then out of those 5, they could only freeze 1 embryo. And they were still watching 3 more after that, but they all arrested as well. And
I
that
think that
embryo
word arrested.
Yeah.
Why did they say that? Yeah.
And then that embryo was graded a 5 BC.
Okay.
So it was a low quality embryo.
Yeah. And you broke it. To the percent that is that percent.
Yeah.
And that was the funded round.
Yes. At about that time, I was getting ready to leave, but I thought that fertility clinic, but I thought, let's just give one more chance to do a transfer. Like to start with our first transfer. We were really eager to do the frozen embryo transfer. So we transferred the 3 BV and it came time to the pregnancy test and I got the call and they said, it's positive. And I thought, this is our happy ending. Yeah. Went all the way to IVF. Now I'm pregnant. This time we're really not going to tell people.
Yes.
But we got too excited. Like my husband told his family right away.
Ladies, it's always the guys, right? It's always the guys that do it first, too.
What's interesting is he's the one who's telling me don't tell anybody. But then it progressed a little bit, my pregnancy, and it was even before the first ultrasound, we were thinking it's progressing so well, like, let's tell the family.
Yeah.
And we did. And it's too bad we did. Because my family really celebrates. And then we had the first ultrasound. And the sonographer, like, is just taking so long with it. And then she's like, well, here's the sac. But I'm having trouble finding the fetal bowl, I think it's called.
Yeah.
She just said, it's looking like a miscarriage. And I thought,
so she said it, not even the doctor.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I thought, like, oh my God, why do these bad things always happen?
Yeah.
So then I went in to see the doctor, but he was saying, well, I see the fetal bowl.
Oh.
Like, I can see it.
Okay.
But the baby's just not growing enough, not fast enough. Like, it's for sure a miscarriage.
Was there heartbeat at that point?
And no heartbeat. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So I remember just sitting in that fertility clinic, just, starting to cry, but like stopping myself. I'm like, I'm not going to cry in this fertility clinic. So after the doctor told me I had a miscarriage, we waited 1 week. Then I came back for another ultrasound. And that's when they confirmed, yes, for sure it's a miscarriage. Oh. And that's when he gave me the misoprostol.
To flush it.
Flush it out, I guess you would say. It's for the baby, yeah. So I remembered like telling my husband, like, this is serious. I'm going to need you here. Yeah. And so he ended up like canceling going to a birthday party.
How many weeks were you at that point? 7?
It was like, yeah, it must have been 7 weeks by then. Yeah.
At least, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because I had to wait that extra week, so maybe 7.5 weeks. Yeah. So when I took that medication, I started to have like this intense, incredible pain. Like I didn't know what was happening to me. I think my body also didn't know what was happening.
No. And because you're forcing something that's not right. Like
I remember the doctor saying, like, if you feel like you have the flu, like get to a hospital.
Oh.
Like if you have a fever, I should say. And I didn't have a fever, but I felt like I had a fever. And the pain was just so intense that I didn't feel safe being at home. So my husband drove me to the hospital. And like, I would never recommend having miscarriage in a hospital. No. It was one of the most horrific experiences of my life. Like, it was as if I came in there with a paper cut. Like I was
they don't know
in a waiting room.
Yeah.
Essentially giving birth.
Yeah. And they don't know how to, they don't know how to, in their defense, they're ER doctors, but they really don't know how to care for somebody going through that. Because I've been there myself, and so many of the girls have, and they just don't know. They just, they treat it like a paper cut.
Yeah, but like the staff, I think, didn't know really what to do with me. But eventually, like after hours of waiting, we finally got to a doctor. And he was good. He
Did
said,
they put you with the OB department or where did they?
I think it was a regular ER doctor.
Okay, good.
And he said, it looks like you had a bad reaction to the medications. And he was more empathetic and like talked us through what was happening.
Yeah.
So that was our first miscarriage. We wanted to transfer. No, we wanted to do another IVF. And I think this is the time that I found you online.
Yeah, I think so.
And I was thinking,
It was shortly after that miscarriage, I believe.
yeah,
Yeah.
I knew this problem was a lot bigger than me. I knew me Googling was not going to be helpful enough. And I knew that we're making these really life-altering decisions based on very little knowledge. I knew that I had to go to a third party. So that's when I reached out to you.
Yeah, I think so. Because it was just shortly after, I believe. Yeah.
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 And then, I told you I wanted to switch clinics. You found a great doctor for me. So we were talking about going to him.
We're at the third opinion.
Yeah. So while we're getting ready for that, I found out I was naturally pregnant. I missed my period, maybe only 2 days. And I really felt silly taking a pregnancy test.
No.
But it had the 2 lines and I was naturally pregnant. So I texted you right away.
Yes.
And we were so excited. Yeah. But we were also very cautious again and trying not to say anything. And my HCG was doubling.
All the things.
I went to not a fertility clinic, but like an ultrasound clinic because I remember at this point I had left the previous fertility clinic. And the sonographer, again, couldn't find the fetal pole, couldn't find the baby. But she was really determined. So she had me on the bed for like 30 minutes trying to find the fetal pole. Yeah. So it was a painful experience.
So you're naturally pregnant.
Yes, for the first time ever.
For the first, yeah.
Yeah, that was the first time. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So the sonographer couldn't find the baby. So then we went to a doctor.
Yeah.
And I remember on the way to the doctor, my husband was saying, what if this turns out badly for us? And I remember saying, God doesn't create a miracle to take it away.
That's right.
I'll never forget saying that. But then we went in for the ultrasound with the doctor and he, it took him 4 seconds to say, there's no baby.
Oh my gosh.
There's no babies here. This is a miscarriage. However, I see 2 sacs. So I think this was going to be twins, which we would have been thrilled with.
Yeah.
So the doctor's talking about the miscarriage and the process and everything. And my husband's just I can see he's crying. I'm just this is such an awful experience.
Yeah.
And we got out of there and my husband became so motivated. He's that's it. We're going to be pregnant again. It was like a fire under him.
Yeah.
And
because the guys experience things differently. It's a different ballgame for the men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now he had this intense motivation to make this happen again, which was great because I always had that motivation. I was so persistent. And like I said, we had hardly any chance to get pregnant. Even some of the practitioners, which, were great, but were trying to gently tell me that, you probably will not get pregnant, just so you know, this probably not going to work.
Yeah. So many times.
But I was so persistent. Every day I did something to move the needle
forward
to get pregnant. Yeah.
Yeah. And you followed all the things and you did all the things.
Yes, I tried my best. Yeah.
And one of the big things that I think made such a difference is for endo, we have to eat for endo. And you were so consistent with that. And it's so hard to do that, especially say in the summer when people are having cocktails or appetizers by the pool, you would stay so consistent. You were.
Yeah, I wasn't drinking.
Nah.
I wasn't even drinking coffee.
No.
It was just my lemon water.
Yeah.
I remember I wouldn't put on hairspray. I wouldn't even put nail polish on.
Yeah.
When I saw women wearing nail polish, I was like, oh, wow, that must be nice.
Right? I know.
Yeah.
I know. It robs so much of us. and our lives in
Yeah,
fertility, right? It takes so much.
Financially too.
Financially as well.
Yeah, we put everything on the back burner, like vacations, renovations, like thousands of dollars were being poured into IVF and everything associated with that.
When everybody else gets it for free.
Yes. Yeah.
It's so not.
So after that miscarriage, we wanted to transfer our last remaining embryo.
That's right.
I remember my husband was no longer interested in doing another round of IVF.
Because he had hope.
Yeah. Yeah. We had one more embryo. He just wanted that transferred. So we went to the fertility clinic that was storing the embryo. So that's essentially our third fertility clinic. We no longer wanted to deal with our previous one. But that was a long process to transfer that embryo.
One was so long.
Yeah, because
in the meantime, we had done a third opinion with another doctor, and we had a good game plan. But
for another IVF,
for another IVF, and a doctor that actually does specialize in endometriosis.
Yes. Yeah.
We'll say it like that. But Mark and you both wanted to transfer that embryo.
Yes.
So we were following the doctor's advice of the new potential clinic to transfer it.
Yeah. I should say that the clinic had our embryo, so we needed to transfer it at that clinic.
Yeah.
So that's why we were there.
Yeah.
And I kept going into frozen embryo transfer cycles, but them being canceled because I could never get my lining thick enough. It would be like, I think 5, and you needed to be a 8, I think.
Technically
is it 7 or
7,
8?
but we like 8. We like 10.
Yeah.
We like 10 on the Fight Club.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's hard. Lining is a tricky one.
Yeah. And we kept trying month after month. And finally it got to the point where maybe the doctor was even frustrated. And he said, you can't get your lining thick enough. Maybe you're just one of those women that can't get their lining thick enough. And we're just going to have to go ahead with the frozen embryo transfer. And I asked, well, is there still a chance I can get pregnant with thin lining? And he said, yes.
Yeah, that's true.
So we went ahead with it and we transferred that embryo, and it never implanted. It was never a positive test.
Oh.
Like there wasn't even anything out of that transfer.
And all that money.
Yeah. So I quickly changed to my 4th fertility clinic with the doctor that does specialize in endometriosis. What was nice about that doctor is he gave us extra information that the other doctors weren't giving us. For example, he told my husband to stop drinking. My husband only drinks like very occasionally, like if he's at a barbecue party.
Yeah.
And he said, completely stop drinking. So he didn't even drink a drop. Like I was so proud of him.
And that was never mentioned at any other clinic, right?
Yeah.
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 I know. Because they blamed you and your endo.
Yes, and my age. Yeah.
And your age.
Yeah.
So it sounds familiar to me.
With Mark, like hearing from a doctor, you cannot drink. Like he believed that and stopped drinking. Yeah. They also said things like wear loose underwear.
Yeah.
I remember our acupuncturist, she said, think grandpa underwear. Like it's gotta be big and it's gotta be loose.
Oh gosh, I'm gonna use that now.
Yeah. Because you think, oh, that underwear is fine. But no, you gotta think big grandpa underwear.
Grandpa underwear. Okay, I'm gonna use that now.
And I think the best piece of advice he gave us was outside of your period, you need to have sex every single day.
Yes.
If you can't every single day, like every other day.
Yep. And the guy has to ejaculate every day if it's not intercourse, because it's so good for the guy and the sperm.
To improve the sperm health. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
and not many doctors or people suggest that, right?
Oh, we would never hear anything like
Never.
that. People were just very focused on ovulation, like make sure you're doing it during ovulation.
Yeah.
And I think this advice was good because I stopped worrying about ovulation. Because I was thinking if we're, being intimate every single day of the month, I no longer have to be worried about when I'm ovulating.
And that takes pressure off you.
Yes.
Huge.
Yeah. It took a lot less stress off me.
Yeah.
So we were doing that, and we were preparing for our last and final IVF cycle.
Yeah.
During that time, I also had ovarian PRP
Oh, yeah.
to make sure
Yeah.
that I have good quality eggs.
Yeah. And that's something totally different. There's not maybe one doctor, 2 doctors in Canada that do that. Still,
Oh, really?
lots in the
really?
US, but just, 1 or 2 in Canada.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had to be on a waiting list, and luckily I got in.
Yeah.
Also had a hysteroscopy.
Yeah.
I forget how to say it. Yeah.
Hysteroscopy.
Just to remove a polyp, and I still had like miscarriage tissue.
Yeah. Which nobody checked at the previous clinics before transfer.
Before transfer, like they were checking, but I don't think they could tell.
No,
like they couldn't find it.
yeah.
So then we were thinking we'll do our last and final IVF. If it's with a really good fertility clinic, it's with a really good doctor, it should work.
That understands. Yeah.
Like I was thinking, we'll probably have several embryos.
Yeah.
We won't know what to do with them. We'll have so many.
I'm so excited to share that I will be leading the Burlington, Ontario walk for the 5th annual Fertility Matters 6K. And I would absolutely love for you to come join me and the Fertility Fight Club in the walk. The Fertility Matters 6K is a nationwide fundraising movement supporting the 1 in 6 Canadians facing fertility and family building challenges. Our walk is going to be such a fun morning. We'll have a lot of laughs, a little stretching, some snacks, and most importantly, coffee and tea. Whether you're currently on your fertility journey, supporting someone you love, have been through it, or simply want to help us raise awareness, we would love to have you there. Every step helps bring us closer to a future where fertility support is a right, not a privilege. Come walk, laugh, connect, and make a difference with us. I would love to have you there.
And
you're on a lot of more different medications for egg quality as well as egg quantity at that time, right?
Yeah, we decided to get Omnitrope. I think it's called.
Yeah.
I think it's called. Very expensive medication.
Very expensive.
Thousands of dollars. But we were like, we need to give it our all so that it finally works.
Yeah. Yeah. Very expensive.
Oh, I was taking all these medications and injections.
Supplements. We had an endo protocol.
Oh, yeah. My naturopathic doctor couldn't believe how many supplements I was on. Like, she was getting worried. Like,
the list of the endo we have now, I have it in a document now.
Yeah.
The endo protocol. It's intense.
Yeah. My naturopathic doctor was
It's
like,
intense.
you need to decrease this. So we were like well into the IVF cycle, monitoring the amount of eggs growing, and only like 5 or 6 eggs were growing.
Yeah.
Which was very shocking.
Weird. Yeah.
And then I get a phone call from the nurse saying, like, I think we should cancel your IVF cycle because it looks like you ovulated. And I just remember just getting
you kind of had an idea though, right? Do you remember? I think you messaged me and you're like, I feel like I'm ovulating, Crystal. And I'm like, you can't. You're on such a tide. Remember
Yes,
that?
thanks for reminding me. I always knew when I was ovulating because
you felt
when
it.
you're in this journey, you
know your body.
learn your body and you know what's happening.
Yeah.
And when I saw that I was ovulating, I got really scared. And I remember like calling the clinic and letting them know. And they're like, oh, like, I don't think so, but like, we'll have you in for an appointment and we'll
Everybody
check.
doubts. It was very emotional because we kind of actually just brushed over it. But Ivona did so much work from the last miscarriage to get to this retrieval, like huge amount. So
yeah, thanks for mentioning.
I don't want to be. We both are not emotional girls, but we're emotional about this. So you had done so much work. And Mark had done so much work. Like you guys both together were like a team fighting so hard. It was like intense.
Mm-hmm.
So when you said you're ovulating, and then nobody at the clinic thought, no, there's no way. Yeah.
That early,
Yeah.
So they called me and they said, we're probably going to have to cancel. And I'm like, how could I have ovulated? Like, how could you have let this happen?
Yeah.
Like, I actually said that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how many, like, did I lose an egg because I ovulated? And they're like, yeah, it looks like you ovulated an egg. I'm like, how many eggs are left? and they said, there's 4, but they're not mature. So you would have to be on medications for another week. And then maybe those 4 would be mature, but we're not sure.
Yeah.
So it'd be like another $1,000 to do that. We had already wasted
gambling.
$8,000.
Yeah.
I really felt like a gambler at that point.
Exactly.
So we were talking with my husband. I remember we were talking with you. You were trying to get a hold of the doctor who was traveling.
Yeah.
Like we were spiraling. And thank you for that. Like you were calling us throughout the weekend trying to see.
Yeah, it was a weekend. I remember that.
Yeah, trying to make sure if I was okay.
Oh.
And then we just decided to cancel it.
Yeah.
Because there's only 4 eggs left and they might not even be mature in time for the retrieval. And then I think that Monday you got the doctor on the phone with us. You were on the call too.
Yeah.
And he was explaining that my body was just reacting very strangely. Like the eggs would grow and then they would stop growing, even with this amazing medication, even with the Omnitrope.
Yeah.
And then I ovulated with no warning, just happened out of nowhere. So I remember just saying to him, like,
your LH never peaked. It like there was no indication in blood work that you were going to ovulate.
Yes,
right.
Like saying those things.
Usually they have like a indication,
they have a warning.
Or sometimes when you do the blood work, they'll make you extra dose of cetrotide or something just to catch it and stop the ovulation. But there's no warnings. Yeah.
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 Yeah. So I remember saying to the doctor, why did this happen? Like, I was so frustrated. I'm like, I'm a healthy person. Like we were saying, I don't drink.
Yeah.
I don't even drink coffee.
Yeah. You did all the things.
Like I eat nutritious food. I'm active.
Yeah.
Like, why is this happening? And he said, it's your endometriosis.
Yeah.
And it's like, when he said that, you should have seen the motivation in me spike up. Like, I was like, never again. I want this terrible disease out of my body. Like, let's stop thinking about getting pregnant. I want this disease totally out of my body.
Yeah.
I always wanted to do a laparoscopy, but the doctors in this journey stopped me throughout.
Yeah.
Like, they kept telling me, no, you can't do a laparoscopy because it could damage your eggs and it could decrease your egg count. And you're trying to get pregnant. It's very important that you maintain your egg count.
Yeah.
What they were recommending for me to do was to do IVF first and then a laparoscopy and then an embryo transfer.
That was our new plan, I think. But previously they wanted to transfer without the laparoscopy. And what happens is with endo, you need that surgery before you would transfer as well, right? That
Definitely.
was the frustrating part. Like they weren't seeing it. They weren't treating you like you had endo. They were treating you like every other person.
Yeah, I remember saying to my first fertility doctor, I have this horrible endometriosis. Do I need to go to a doctor to resolve that and have a laparoscopy? And he said, no, you're going to me and we're going to do IVF. And because we're going to do IVF, you don't need a laparoscopy.
Wow.
And like, I'm trying to think of the proper analogy, but like, it's like you want to run a marathon, but you have a fever. Like, how are you going to run a marathon with a fever?
Exactly.
And then they're giving you Tylenol and saying, there's a chance that you could finish the marathon with your fever and some Tylenol.
Yeah.
Like, of
in a
course,
good time.
Yeah. Of course it wasn't going to work. Like, I was only getting like 1 embryo, right? And I was reading stories of other girls and they were also getting 1 embryo.
Yeah. It didn't make sense.
So yeah.
So now you wanted do the lap.
Yeah. Now I just want that lap and I'm going to stop listening to doctors and I'm just going to get
Trust my gut.
Yes. I wish I trusted my instincts because my instincts are always
right.
They're always correct.
Yeah. Our spidey senses.
Yeah. But I had a new challenge with finding a doctor that was willing to give me the laparoscopy.
Yeah.
There's so many women, as you know, that have endometriosis. Like, I think maybe 2 million in Canada.
Oh my gosh.
So the lists are huge.
Huge.
So I was trying to get a doctor to do this. And I would hear things like, your endometriosis is not serious enough. You don't have enough pain. When they told me I don't have enough pain, like I was thinking, what are you talking about? Like, I have miscarriages. I have physical and emotional pain from endometriosis.
Yeah.
And they would also tell me,
And the reason why your body didn't act like a normal endo person with like buckled over pain all the time is because you were managing it with all your lifestyle choices. So that was dismissing.
mhm.
Yeah,
I should say I did have that horrible
Yeah.
pain when I was younger.
exactly.
Yeah.
Because you didn't, yeah.
And they were also telling me, pregnancy is not a good enough reason to get a laparoscopy. Like, it's only if you have like terrible, terrible pain.
Wow.
I know. So
It's
then
just so
I
disturbing.
was like so persistent. I was turning over every stone. And I remember thinking, my nurse, can I say her name?
Yeah.
My nurse, Lindsay, is very helpful. Like, maybe I should at least ask her. So Lindsay thankfully referred me to an OBGYN in her area.
Yeah.
And I had to wait maybe more than 6 months, but I think that's a short amount
That's
of time
a short amount.
to what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
And like in November of 2024, I think it was, I see his name pop up on my caller ID, and I had forgotten about this doctor.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, look at this. Look who's calling. And I answered the phone and they're like, yeah, we know you need a laparoscopy. When would you like to come in for the consult? Like, I was in the consult like a week later. And then the doctor, amazing doctor, said, you want to get pregnant? Well, that is a very good reason for laparoscopy.
Right? Finally, a doctor listened.
Yes, I almost wanted to hug him. And he's like, well, I'm going to speed things up then. Like,
I remember you calling me right after that conversation.
Really?
Yeah.
So that was amazing. So then later they called me and they said, are you able to come in for surgery on December 31st?
I know. I remember.
So I thought, there is no better way to spend my New Year's Eve than to get that awful disease out of my body. Like, that is the
100%.
best. That is the best New Year's Eve. So my husband and I drove like 2.5 hours to get to the hospital that this particular doctor was working at.
Yeah.
I was one of the last surgeries of the day because they had other emergencies.
Yeah.
And they got most of the endometriosis out. There was like a little bit left in like a dangerous to operate area.
Okay.
But they got most of it out.
Yeah. How bad did he say it was?
He said it wasn't that bad.
Okay.
Yeah. He thinks it was like between stage 2 or 3.
Okay. That's probably from all the work you did.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yes. So he got a good chunk of it out.
Good.
And then I just kept trying.
Yeah.
I remember you talked to me about fertilysis.
Yeah.
I brought up fertilysis testing to my husband, Mark. And, he was looking at me like as if I had 4 eyes.
A lot of people do.
Yeah.
And for people that don't know what fertilysis is specialized testing that we check the microbiome and we check natural killer cells and your antibodies and things that could be killing off the sperm. If her uterine microbiome is off, vaginal microbiome is off, that could be killing the sperm, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Immune issues, all those things. Yeah.
Yes.
And it's expensive.
Yes, that was the thing. Like, when Mark heard about this, he was thinking, we've wasted like thousands and thousands of dollars on IVF. And now you're bringing me this fertilysis thing. But finally, you said something like the doctor is upset we didn't get fertilysis.
Yeah.
And
he's like, it doesn't make sense. This could be what's going on. Yeah.
So that really motivated the two of us. We were like, let's just do this fertilysis thing.
Yeah.
So we did it.
Because he kept saying, that's the missing piece.
Yeah.
It
really was. Yeah. So we did the fertilysis testing. We got the results back. I should mention that, our blood work and everything went to Greece. So we had to wait a few weeks maybe.
Yeah.
And it came back listing all these problems, like microbiome problems and immune problems. Basically, my body was rejecting anything that my body thought was foreign. So it was killing sperm. It was killing embryos. Like, no wonder I was having miscarriages.
Yeah.
It was just like such an awful report.
It was awful, but it shows us like, we have an answer.
Yes, I should say there
Right.
is a section there where it says treatment, and then they tell you exactly what to do, and you go
Yeah.
to your doctor with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Sometimes
that's
it's antibiotics, sometimes it's immune therapy, sometimes it's lit. There's so many different things. Yeah.
yeah, for me with the microbiome issues, those were really easily taken care of with
Yeah.
just like antibiotics.
Hardcore antibiotics, not just.
You know what? You're right
Yeah.
that it was hardcore
Yeah, they're
because
hardcore.
I almost fainted
Oh,
on
yeah.
the one antibiotic
There are a
the
lot of
doctor had me on.
Yeah. And they destroy your microbiome, and we build it back up with probiotics after.
Oh,
But
okay.
they are hard. They're harsh. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was so
Yeah.
harsh.
Yeah.
And then with the immune therapy, the report recommended the lit therapy
Yeah.
so that my immune system would stop attacking
The sperm.
sperm and embryos.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I got the lit therapy, I think the first one in January, and then the next one in February. I should mention I was also seeing an acupuncturist.
Yeah.
And you recommended an acupuncturist after the doctor told me that I'm really getting really old and I'm about to have menopause, and it's just very unlikely that I'll be pregnant.
I remember that call. I did not like that call very much.
I like
Yeah. Because your AMH from, if you remember,
was low, right?
yeah, because we hadn't checked it for a while and we had been going through all these things.
Like
And then
suppression.
we're like,
So
yeah. So we're like, let's check everything. And we ran your AMH again and it was drastically lower. Yeah.
because
And
I
it freaked
think
everybody out, including the doctor.
yeah, but I think it's because I took that medication, and I'm sorry, I don't remember the name.
The
You know?
Lupron.
Luperon.
Lupron.
Yeah, I think it's because I took Luperon, which
Yeah.
essentially puts you in menopause,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So it dangerously lowered my AMH.
Exactly.
And then my
Yeah.
FSH was really high.
Yeah. How high was it? Do you remember?
I think it was like at 17.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he was saying, you're about to go into menopause. It's
Yeah.
really unlikely that you'll get pregnant. And then ended the call. And I like burst into tears. I was like crying like nonstop. And you called me and totally calmed me down.
Because sometimes I think I had like another call with the doctor right after, so I couldn't call you right away. And I don't even remember like the next call with the next client and the doctor. No idea what was said, because I just wanted to get on the phone to make sure you were okay. Because
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It
Because
was
I thought
rough.
that was really the end. I'm like, okay, this is
Yeah.
the end of our fertility journey.
But there's never the end with Crystal. I find a way.
Yes.
So
Yeah. So
we came up with a plan.
yeah,
new
you came
plan.
to me with like 5 different options.
Yeah.
I was really
I like options.
I was really impressed actually with you with all those options.
We're not giving up. We're having a baby, Ivona. We're figuring this out.
Yes. And I was just like so persistent. I was like, it's
Yeah.
gonna happen.
Yeah. So I gave you a whole bunch of options. And
Mhm.
one of them was donor eggs, donor embryos, donor sperm. Donor eggs in Canada is like so expensive.
Yes.
And can't even remember all the options. But you said, you know what? Maybe embryo donation is the way to go.
Yeah, the doctor had said things like you need donated eggs or a donated embryo because it's just too tough for you to be pregnant with endometriosis.
Yeah.
So at that point, we really came to terms. We really thought we're never going to have a biological
Yeah.
child.
Yeah.
So you gave me the name of a podcast to listen to.
Yeah.
I think it's from Mark and Fertility. Can I say that?
I think so. Was that? Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's where it was from. Yeah.
And so I learned about embryo adoption.
Yeah.
I told my husband all about it and he was for it.
Yeah.
I contacted the adoption agency. They're called New Beginnings.
Yeah.
They sent me all the information, all the costs, the process. And so
And it sounded good because it's reasonable.
yeah, it's a reasonable price.
Yeah. Reasonable compared to all the other stuff we've done.
Yeah. Yeah, we would
Yeah.
be put on a waiting list and we would be hoping that a couple picks us. But, we were willing to go through this. So that's what we were waiting for. We were doing the lit therapies and waiting for this embryo adoption.
Yeah.
I was also thinking about maybe I would give IUI one more
Yeah,
chance.
that's
I
right.
can't believe I was
Yeah.
saying that. But
Yeah.
again, I was listening to a podcast where a girl was successful with IUI at a
After
higher
surgery.
age.
but especially after endo surgery.
That's what we were talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like after the laparoscopy, you have more of a chance to get naturally pregnant with an IUI.
Yeah, huge. And I see it all the time. And I'm pretty sure I told you, I'm like, Ivona, just like try naturally or IUI because you do have a chance. Like low AMH doesn't mean no eggs.
Exactly.
And now that endo is gone, and I always say when they remove the endo, it like gives oxygen there, right? And we want good, healthy blood flow. And when you have good blood flow, then our ovaries are breathing, right? So we have healthier eggs. So I'm like, I see it all the time. I've seen so many people do lap and get pregnant. And you were skeptical. You're like, Crystal.
Like, would a happy thing ever happen to me?
Yeah.
But I also remember like going onto the endometriosis groups on Facebook. And people were just saying, I got pregnant after laparoscopy 2 weeks after, a month after, 3 months after, 4 months after. And it wasn't just like one person saying it. It was like all these people were saying it. Then I heard about a study where about 50% of the girls who do get laparoscopy get naturally pregnant. But we were waiting for embryo adoption at this time.
Yeah. And we thought it was a good plan and we're just waiting.
So I was going through the lit therapy treatments. Traveling all the way.
Did you do the immune at that time or not yet? Did you do that?
I only did the lit therapy and then the antibiotics for the microbiome.
Okay.
Yeah. So we were supposed to have 3 lit therapy treatments. We only ended up having 2.
Yeah.
At the end of March, I'm like walking to work and it was like I was like hit with like this, like it was like I was like hit with a big truck that took all my energy out of me.
Yeah.
Like if I was a cell phone, I would be operating on 2% battery.
Oh my God. I love your analogies. People say I have the wildest, but yours are pretty good. Yours are really good too.
That's just how I felt.
Yeah.
I'm like, somebody just took all the energy out of me.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? I think I'm going to get COVID. Like I'm for sure going to get COVID. And this is a really bad time because the next day I had a photo shoot at work. Like I cannot have COVID right now.
Yeah. I remember that photo shoot. This is like, reliving like a year ago or 2 years ago.
I had to go home early because that's how awful I felt.
And that's not like Ivona because she's very dedicated. You work so hard. Yeah. So
with endometriosis pain.
Push through it all.
With endometriosis pain, I would work through that.
Yeah.
So then the next day, I'm expecting to be really sick. I'm expecting I'll need a COVID test, but like I feel better. So I don't know what's happening. Like I'm still a bit weak. So then I start thinking, I miss my period for 3 days. Like maybe I should take a test. But then I remember that doctor saying you're going into menopause.
So maybe that's why you're missing the period.
Yeah. I'm like, maybe I'm just going into menopause.
Yeah.
So I was like scared to take a pregnancy test.
Yeah, of course.
But I took it anyway. And then I see 2 lines. My whole body was like just shaking. I'm like, I asked for this and here it is. Oh my God. So I ran downstairs to tell my husband. He's like all concerned with dinner. He's like, sit down for dinner. It's going to get cold. And I'm like, I just have to tell you something. And I have my phone and I wanted to record him, but I was so nervous that I didn't press play. So I have this phone on him that's not even recording. And I'm like, I'm pregnant. And he's like, okay, well, let's not get too excited. Like, you're pregnant. That's good. If it doesn't work out, it's okay. And, we know that it can happen next time. Now we know that you have the ability to get pregnant. And I'm like, would you just be excited? Like, we're pregnant. And I'm like trying to eat my dinner, but like my hand is shaking. I'm just like, I'm so excited. And I texted you. I sent you a picture of the test. I was just so. You're one of the.
What?
You're like the first person after Mark that I told.
Yeah, I remember. I remember it was like yesterday.
Yeah. So it was really exciting, and we did the interlipids. Is it called interlipids? Interlipids.
Yeah.
To keep the pregnancy going. But I should tell you quickly about our first appointment, that first scan.
So now scans are always the scariest part
The
right
first
after we
one.
have.
Yes.
Yeah, because we've been there before. We've had no fetal pole. We've had no heartbeat. So
Yes.
how did it feel? Oh my gosh, I'm going to get misty-eyed again.
We were
How
terrified.
did it feel?
We
Yeah.
were terrified. I remember I got my husband to come with me. This fertility clinic was really far away from our house. He kept saying, like, why are we driving like all the way to this other city
Yeah.
for this appointment? And I just kept telling him, I want a good doctor. I want a good staff for this first
Scan.
appointment. And this is the scan to determine if you have a heartbeat.
The scariest one for me,
Yeah.
anyways.
Oh yeah, it was
Yeah.
the scariest one for me. Like I was expecting, all like the two different outcomes. Either you have a baby or you don't have a baby.
Yeah.
And I remember I was getting changed for the appointment and my husband was in the ultrasound room talking to the sonographer. And he's like telling her like her whole story, our whole story. He's like oversharing. He's just like, we've had this miscarriage and we've had this miscarriage. And so we're very scared. We're very, very scared. And I'm like, oh my God, like, why is he telling her everything? And then I get on the bed to be examined and I'm also scared. Like I felt
Yeah.
sorry for the sonographer. It's like she has these two very scared people and she has to somehow do a
that are
job.
listening and talking.
Like,
yeah.
yeah, we're like
Yeah.
afraid to breathe.
Yeah. And she's like, I'm not telling them anything.
And then I remember she goes in and she's like, I have to take measurements and stuff, but I'm going to have to show you this first to calm you both down. See this? This is the baby. See this? This is the heartbeat.
Oh my God.
We were like, oh my God. Oh my God. Like my husband burst into tears. I was crying. Like it was so emotional
Yeah.
and amazing.
Yeah.
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 And then we just had to, like, I asked them if we could just film a little bit. Like, we were just so excited.
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
it was
And then we
crazy.
got the pictures. And I just couldn't believe we gotten to that point. We've never
Yeah.
gotten to that point before where there's
Yeah.
an actual baby
Heartbeat.
there. And then I came back at 9 weeks pregnant and the baby, it was like actually forming into a baby,
you
right?
can
Like you
see.
could see,
It's not a
the
dot.
outline of the head. Like
Yeah.
I couldn't believe at like 9 weeks, you could see the outline of the baby.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
And then the whole
So-
pregnancy, like I was worried about telling people I'm pregnant because of all of that.
Infertility
Gone
never leaves
through.
us. Yeah. Yeah.
I was like tiptoeing through that pregnancy. And
It never goes away. Right?
yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it doesn't. And how
Yeah.
was your birth? Because it doesn't end when you have the baby.
it was,
Probably It's never a dull moment for us fertility warriors ever.
I know. It
It's
was
never
like something
simple.
it was something out of a movie.
Yeah.
Because they wanted to induce me, but I like woke up one day at 39 weeks pregnant and my water had broken, but I didn't realize because it was very, very subtle, very little. And I called the hospital and they told me, you can stay home. It doesn't look like anything. But then I started to have these crazy contractions, like very, very painful and very short, like only 3 or 4 minutes apart. And I remember learning you need to get to the hospital
Yeah.
when that happens. So we drove to the hospital and it was exactly like out of a movie. Like I'm screaming, like Mark's trying to whisk past the traffic, like trying to get there. It's also in a different city, of course,
Oh.
our hospital. And we get to the hospital and I'm getting ready for what I think is going to be a natural birth. But they say the heartbeat is really quick. Like
Oh,
it's
gosh.
very quick. Like you're going to have an emergency C-section. Looks like you have a fever and the baby has a fever. Like we're going to have to have the C-section right away.
Oh my gosh.
And we get into the operating room. And I always thought C-sections were really quick, like 5 minutes. But
Yeah.
this took like, I don't know, maybe 40 minutes, maybe an hour. Like my
my
uterus
gosh.
was just not giving the baby up.
Oh my gosh.
And then they finally got the baby out, but she wasn't breathing for like 3 minutes. And Mark saw them perform CPR.
Oh my
And
God.
finally, after the 3 minutes, she started to breathe. And then she was on a CPAP breather. And I got to meet her like in the recovery room
Oh my
because I was
gosh.
in so much pain and on so many medications. I think I was just like sleeping during
Oh my
the
gosh.
end there. But yeah, I got to meet her in the recovery room, which was amazing.
And- oh my gosh. I didn't mean to totally cry.
Mhm.
And now we have sweet baby Ella.
Yes.
I love her.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Ivona, thank you so much. Okay, I did bring a box of tissue. Ivona, thank you so much for coming and sharing your story with me. And you know I never cry except on Zoom with you. But thank you so much for sharing your story. You've been through so much and it was so tough, but you guys kept fighting. And I'm
Mhm.
just really thankful you're here. And I'm so glad to have walked the journey with you because it was
Yes.
so hard. And you guys, like I said, there's such a difference between people that do all the things and really fight. And it's just not fair. And
Mhm.
you kept your faith in God. You kept your faith in believing you weren't giving up. You're going to find a way to have a baby. And that was like huge, huge.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
I hope that I can, give some hope to the women and the couples
Oh, yeah.
that are going through infertility.
Yeah.
It is such an intense, horrible time in people's lives.
It is. It
And
is.
I'm really
Yeah.
grateful to you
Yeah.
because when we met you, that was like our turning point
Thank
in our
you.
fertility journey. That's when we got
Thank
like
you.
the ball really rolling and eventually, got that
We
positive.
changed plans like so many times. We're like, okay, pivot. Okay, we're gonna try this. Okay, pivot,
Yeah.
pivot. Let's do this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you were like, yeah, let's do this. And you were all in. And then Mark was all in. And you
Mhm.
guys just were like, yeah, fighters. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's all worth it because you're a mom now to baby Ella.
Yes.
Yeah.
I totally have a hard time even believing it every day.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're very happy.
Yeah.
And she is such a happy baby. She's always
Oh,
smiling.
see.
She thinks I'm hilarious for some reason. Yeah. I don't know why, but
I
she
don't
thinks
know.
I'm hilarious.
I know you
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
Oh,
and she's just,
yeah.
I know I'm biased, but she's so beautiful.
She is really beautiful.
I just stare at her when
Yeah,
she's sleeping.
I do. I see a lot of babies, but she's really beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. And you guys just deserve it so much. Yeah. You
Yeah.
guys really deserve her. She's amazing. And like I mentioned at the beginning, Ivona, when anybody has endo, or I had a couple, a month or so ago, a few months ago, and the cetrotide didn't hold and she ovulated
Mm.
early when they went to do the retrieval. And they only got, I can't remember now how many eggs that they ended up with,
Yeah.
but they lost most of everything. And it's so devastating. And I'm like, this has only happened a few times, but I can give them hope with your story. And when people have endo and they're fighting so hard and they're told that their AMH is crashing and they're going to menopause and they might as well use donor or donor embryos or whatever. And I'm like, never give up. And even if they have to use donor embryos or donor eggs or whatever, there's always a way. And you guys are that. And the surgery. And I remember right after I think you must have passed like 12 weeks or something. You
Mhm.
said to me, I want to share my story. That's why I reached out to you right away.
Yeah.
Because you're like, I wish I would have got the surgery a long time ago. And people need to know if they have endo, do the surgery.
Yes, I wish I would have trusted my instincts.
Yeah.
And I tell this to people that are going through it and have endometriosis.
Yeah.
Like you need to deal with your health first,
Yeah.
and then you try to get pregnant. You need to really clean up your health first. You
Yeah.
need to have the laparoscopy first.
And it's scary because if it's not a good surgeon, they will destroy your ovaries, right? And your
Yeah, you
egg
need to find the
quality
right doctor.
Yeah, and your ovaries are already weak from the endo, right? So it's a balancing act, right? So it's really scary. So thank
Mhm.
you. Thank you so much for coming on today.
Thank you so much for having me on. This has been a really
Thank
great
you.
experience.
Thanks.